What's up, world? What's up, Zion? It's Prince Easy coming at you again once more, as usual. I do have a couple slides that I want to share with you this fine day that we're having. And of course, before we get to the slides, I want to issue a copyright disclaimer for the copyrighted material that's going to be shared in this here video. Alright, so today's video, or this particular video, is going to be about the updates, right? We're going to try to update each other pertaining to the things that are unfolding in the geopolitics space. Right? So yeah. So let's have a look at what is happening. So the Epstein class is being revealed, right? And more is being disseminated, right? And of course, this is just one country, right? So what they did here can also be applied to many other countries out there, right? The reports names Trump, Elon Musk, Jared Kushner, Mark Anderson, Tom Barrack, and Leishadon Addison and Miriam Addison, citing ties to Epstein, ranging from appearance in contacts to personal relationships. The analyst found the Trump campaign allied super PACs alone received $282 million from Epstein's linked billionaire since 2010. Right? Also note that the group total political spending represents less than 0.1% of their combined wealth. Okay, but if you take that to a worldwide theater of buying influence, then you'd see. Right, according to the new report from America for Tax Fairness Action Fund, 40 billionaires and billionaire families with tied to Jeffrey Epstein have spent more than $1.5 billion influencing U.S. elections since the Supreme Court in 2020 Citizens United decision. The report found that roughly 84% of the spending is more than $1.3 billion went to conservative causes, while only 7% supported Democrats and progressive causes. The remaining money funded by partisan lobbying efforts, including on issues like artificial intelligence. Okay? Yeah, so that file is closed, right, for now. So let's see what the Black American experience is, right? The Civil War ended in April 1865. By January 1866, Florida legislature had written a law that put a black man's back under the state control. The Florida Black Code did not bother with subtlety. A person of color convicted of larceny could be locked in the pillory for an hour, or given 39 lashes at the whipping post, or sold at a public auction for up to 12 months of labor. The judge picked which, and insolence was itself an offense, defined loosely enough that a tone of voice would do. 2 years earlier, the same men writing these sentences had owned the people they were sentencing. The auction block did not disappear. It moved to courthouse steps and got a docket number. This is a straight line from the statute of school hallway. When a state decides that black conduct is itself a criminal category, it builds machinery to process it, and machinery outlives the men who built it. Black students today are suspended at roughly 3 times the rate of white students for the same infractions. and the vague charge do most of the work, right? Vague charges do most of the work. Defiance, disrespect, disorderly conduct, the same idea as insolence, wearing a modern collar. Florida was one of the 8 states that passed a black code within a year of emancipation, and almost none of them are taught by name, right? What is something about your own hometown history that you only learned as an adult? I'm learning something new, right? Interesting, right? So, they come with evidence, of course, right? They point to point number 5 from the MOU. Upon the signing of the MOU, the Islamic Republic of Iran will make arrangements, right? So again, refuting the deception that has been going out there that they were just supposed to look away and just let everything be as it was. But no, that's not gonna happen, right? Because the reality is you are violated, right? Some really simple right ways of conduct, right? For just a normal person, right? You have done violated that. So what so this is only the so-called Middle East, right? We came from the African experience, the diaspora experience, to the Iranians. Now let's see what they're doing out there in the Far East, right? Beijing made it clear to the Kremlin in an ultimatum-like manner for the first time that the use of nuclear weapons was unacceptable, Zelensky said. Stubbs said Chinese officials told him Russia will not go nuclear. Zelensky set up a new unit to strike deep into Russia. Ukraine military will organize a new force tasked with making incursion deep into Russian territory to degrade Moscow's fighting capabilities. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky announced on Friday the unit will have a long-range, effectively global impact on Russia. That's quite interesting, right? The Ukrainian leader said in this nightly address. I don't know, what do we get out of that, right? Long range, effectively global. So what? Are we going to see more of Ukraine in the Sahel? Or in the Middle East, right? Russia produces at least 700 to 800 Iskander ballistic missiles and Kinza hypersonic missiles annually, according to an expert estimates. Given that about 3 Patriot missiles may be needed to intercept a ballistic target, Ukraine and its allies would need to roughly 2,400 interceptors per year to match the pace of the Russian production. Even with a license of production facilities in Ukraine, achieving that number would be very, very difficult, if not impossible. Hoffman, pertaining to the Trump-Ukraine license to make missiles. Responding to a question about the drone explosion in the port of Constanta and why the Romanian army did not release a report on the incident independently of information provided by the Ukrainian side, Murat stressed that responsibility for port security in peacetime does not lie with the military. So, what was this tour about, right? This, that, and that. Well, it is just they are virtual signaling. Let's just say that, right? They are virtual signaling, and they are hoping that China will somehow contain Russia's actions when it comes to dealing with Zelensky, because they are planning an escalation to right? These are just the symptoms, right? This whole talk about Zelensky, just like somebody we know, just come out here and just say some stuff, right? Now this was Zelensky's time, right? He just felt like he should come out here and tell us what President Xi told him, that he will not use nukes, so they can just continue with this type of warfare, right? This is not good, right? This is not good. And these incursions that keep happening, right, with air drones and sea drones, yeah, that region is gonna go up in flames, right? Because they are actively making sure of it, not a coincidence or an exaggeration, but I'm just showing you, right, what is out there, right, what they're saying, right, and what could they possibly mean, right? This stub fellow coming out here and claiming all of these things, right? Again, more escalation. That's what I think, right? More escalation. And this expert here talking about 800 to 700. How do you get those statistics, right? Because everything to them is like, right, narrative, important, right? Narrative, right? So yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not. We've been knowing this would go down like this, right? Just the issue is just most people do not really accept that inevitability of this war going far, 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 and affecting way more people than people actually, estimate, right? But again, they believe that they are making calculated escalations to weaken Russia's fighting capabilities. And what would Russia do in response to this? You tell me, brothers and sisters, right? You tell me, right? Space exploration, technologies COP from SpaceX, that is their stock. So, treason or democracy? Tundu Lissu, a fight too far. BBC Africa Eye documentary. This is a new documentary, right? Another one, right? Because the other one released by the journalist from Kenya was not enough, right? Now they have to do another one. Okay? Why? Well, why did DW do it 2 months ago with the same right? Same vibe 2 months ago, right? So it's a constant flow of aggression, psychological warfare, and information warfare. And now I'm hearing apparently Commonwealth has come out with a statement and demanding that their guy be released 30 days and some. This is what I'm hearing, right? They're giving out ultimatums and stuff. Well, this is to be expected from people who are struggling and have no economy to speak of whatsoever. all they can do is just bring down everybody else. That's what they're trying to do. Right? And you're taking this advantage, right? Because the president here is nice, right? They are nice. Think that you can just bully your way to getting what you want, right? Making documentaries and stuff, right? Again, targeting emotion, not intelligence, right? And at one point, it's just gonna become like an insult to intelligence. This is what the Europeans are doing, all of them, with their EU resolutions and all of these speaks against our country. What happens in our country is none of your business. Just like what happens in your country's politics is none of your business, none of our business. And our leaders do not have the time to even discuss you and whatever you're doing, but you cannot stay out of our business. You can't. You have no business. Right? So this is what we have now. This is what we have. Again, they said a long time ago, right? When the world is looking for heroes, we will provide. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they're investing all of this money and this attention so as they're expecting a payback, right? They're expecting a big payout after all of this has gone through, right? After all of this has been successful. Well, I can tell you this, expect the unexpected. What do I mean? Well, I see your moves. And you are double speak and stuff. I'ma tell you like I told you, we'll be waiting for you. So, let me not go on for long. I'm gonna put a pin on it right there. And we're gonna see each other when we see each other. Prince Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.